the place of nouns. I, he, she, we, they, you, it. Sally baked cupcakes, Sally gave me one. Sally baked cupcakes, she gave me one. The pronoun she takes the place of the noun. Sally. Liz and Ray play tag, Liz and Ray had fun. Liz and Ray play tag, they had fun. The pronoun they takes the place of the nouns. Liz and Ray. Possessive pronouns show belonging. Oh yeah. My, his, her, our, their, your, whose, its. Jason lost Jason's ball. Jason lost his ball. The pronoun his takes the place of the noun. Jason. An indefinite pronoun tells you something that is not definite or exact. Anyone, everything, no one, everybody, the whole class must leave now. Everybody must leave now. The pronoun everybody takes the place of the noun. Class.
Here are two very simple examples. Number one, John walks to the store. John is a singular subject, so we need to match it with the singular verb walks. Number two, Jack and John walk to the store. Jack and John is a plural subject, so we need to match it with the plural verb walk. Tricky scenario number one. The subject and the verb are separated by several words. Take a look at the following example here. The room with the flowers is or are absolutely beautiful. Here, if we're not careful, we might think that the subject is flowers, which is plural and would match with the verb are. However, the actual subject here is room, which is the first noun in the subject phrase. Room is singular, so it should match with the singular verb is. The noun that you should match with the verb should be the first noun in the subject phrase. So make sure you always trace the subject phrase all the way back to the beginning before matching it with a verb. Take a look at the following example. The group of students is or are walking to class. Here, group is the subject, and group is singular, so we should match with the verb is. But the problem is, it can be easy to get confused here because the word group looks like it should be plural, because a group consists of more than one thing. There are several other words like the word group that usually take singular verbs, such as class, family, committee, and staff. And unfortunately, it gets even more tricky because sometimes these collective nouns can actually be plural if they're referring to individuals within the group, such as in the following sentence here. The class is or are tuning their instruments. But here's the trick. If you can add the word members after the verb is going to be plural. So for example, the class members is or are tuning their instruments. We would write the following. Everyone is or are sitting in his or their seat. Nobody has or have fallen down. And finally, each of the animals is or are unique. These indefinite pronouns can be tricky because some of them look like they should be plural, especially everyone, everybody, everything, and each. Take a look at the first example sentence here. A lot of people will want to write, everyone is sitting in their seat. But this isn't proper English because everyone is singular and there is plural. Also, take a look at the third example sentence here. The word each is usually followed by something plural. In this case, of the animals, which is plural. But although we'll probably feel very tempted to give it a plural verb because that seems to sound right, it needs to take a singular verb. Tricky scenario number 5. Indefinite pronouns that depend on the context. The indefinite pronouns all, some, none, either, and neither can be either singular or plural, depending on the context. Take a look at the following examples here. All / some / none of the cake has or have been eaten. All / some / none of the pieces has or have been eaten. Neither the cats nor the dog is or are here. Either the cats or the dog is or are guilty. Neither the cat nor the dogs is or are here. Either the cat or the dogs is or are guilty. For the indefinite pronouns all, some, and none, we need to see if what they're referring to is singular or plural. In our examples here, cake is singular and pieces is plural. For the indefinite pronouns either and neither, they're going to almost always take singular verbs, even though we're going to be very tempted to give them plural verbs because they're referring to more than one thing. The only scenario where they would take plural verbs is if the second noun is plural, the noun that is closer to